can't stand you. Hey guys, welcome to Millennials Talk That Ish. As y'all know, I'm Monet.
And I'm Nia.
And today's topic, we are going to be talking about inconsistent parents.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people who dealt with like having an inconsistent parent, and then I'm pretty sure a lot of us at our age, we dealt with our child's parent period,
Right.
being inconsistent, because there's mothers too who are inconsistent. Do you feel like you've dealt with an inconsistent parent?
Yeah, growing up I've had inconsistent parents. I will say it's best that, I mean, for me, I'm happy that they weren't kept away from me because of the inconsistency.
Okay.
And it was able for me to find my own healing. What I will say, it also helped me realize that parents have a lot of trauma. They have their own trauma that they have to go through. And I'm not justifying any parent being a deadbeat, because you laid down and made the child, so you know what to do. Okay?
Agreed.
But for me, it was like, all right, they got their own traumas, they dealing with their own things, and they may not have had as much resources as we have now. So thank goodness I've been able to like heal from most of it. But going forward, if my child had an inconsistent parent, I think it would be a little bit different for me, being like, do I want to keep the inconsistent parent away to kind of protect them from that trauma, or would I let the inconsistent parent come in and out and let my child eventually grow up and see what parent is here and riding out? Because even if I keep them protected, it could come back to bite me in my ass as the child gets older. Like, why did you take away my choice?
It's hard.
Yeah, that's a big. I feel like there's no right or wrong answer for that.
Not at all. Because you feel like you're doing the best for the child.
Right.
But
right.
For a long period of time, my child's father was in and out. He's great now, but it was a while. Before we became cool again, I did make the decision to kind of keep him away. And not forever. It was when I told him, like, hey, right now you can't be around Amir, it wasn't on some I don't want you here at all. It was more so, get yourself together, then come back. Once you feel like you are ready and good enough to be a parent, come.
Yeah,
I won't keep. I won't keep you away. I have never and it was only for about a month or a month and a half. I have never truly kept his father away, but he was very inconsistent. There was times where he didn't see him for 2 months, or he came once every 2 weeks, and it will only be for about 2 hours. And there was times he'll tell my son, "Oh, I'm coming over," never show up. So now my son is like, "Where's Daddy?" He said he's coming, because his memory is ridiculous.
It's impeccable. Most kids' memory is impeccable.
So you tell him, "I'm coming on December 20th. You better come on December 20th, because he's gonna remember."
Right.
I made the decision to keep him away because I did feel like it would be best.
Right.
Because I tried for so long.
Right.
I fought with him for so long to just be there.
Right.
Of course I needed financial help, but it was like, yo, just come be here.
Even giving the main parent some relief.
Yeah. Take him for a few for me. Do something.
Right. Right.
There was times where I would tell him I had plans. Can you take him for me? And come the day of, it's no, I have something to do.
Right.
So yeah, I just felt like that was the best decision. And do I think that my son would have been mad at me for it? Maybe. I think he would, because he does love his father, always have. Even right now, their bond, you would think that his father was always around.
Right.
So I do think he would have been mad at me, but I wouldn't have lied to him either. I did make the decision that however long it took his father to come around, I'm going to tell him why I did it. Like, whether he was 10, 11, he was going to find out, like, listen, I just felt like this was best for you.
Right.
You can make the decision now to talk to him if you want to.
Right.
And he probably wouldn't have understood it until he got older.
Right.
Anyway, because, you know, there's a lot of things we didn't understand as kids, but now at my age, I understood why my mom did it.
Right.
But, and it was really, really hard. It was because he would ask for him every day.
Right, yeah, word.
But see, those are the things that make you feel like, I have to keep you away, because even when he was around, he's still asking for him every day, and I don't know what to tell my kid.
Right.
It's heartbreaking when you have a young kid, because my son is only about to be 8. So when you have a 2, 3, 4-year-old, 6-year-old asking where their dad is, it's heartbreaking, honestly.
Right. Especially when you have the access to your child at that time.
Yes.
And you're like consistently being inconsistent.
Yes.
So it's like, how do you even explain that? Like, I know I have a couple of parents who they lie to their kids. So a couple of them told them that their dad is in the Army, Navy, some form of the military. One mom told the kid that the dad moved away for business, and you know, when he's able to access a phone or whatever, he'll come back. Yeah, like I've had some mothers go through the extreme of trying to protect their kids, and you understand their side, but at the same point, it's like, okay, what if the dad never comes back? So then, what do you say when you say, oh, hey, your dad moved to Afghanistan, he's in a remote area? Like, okay, my dad been gone for 30 years, sis. He ain't coming back. Afghanistan, they got internet. So I just
no, but that's true.
Like, so, like, in the sense of protecting, it's like, yeah, you are protecting, but it's like, either way, your child is gonna be hurt.
And I think that's why I wouldn't have lied to him.
Right.
Because either way, they're gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
Why am I lying to you? That's only gonna make it worse on my
Yeah, because now you gotta explain that lie later on in life.
I didn't want to have to do that.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to have to
explaining a lie might actually make the situation worse, because it's like, all right, you did this to protect me, and then you lied to me on top of it. So now you gotta break down the protection barrier and your lie. That could be
That's
a lie.
That's a lie.
That could be a lie. Like, sometimes you gotta be upfront with kids. Some kids can understand a lot more than we give them credit for.
Yes.
Depending on their age and stuff, of course. But sometimes they understand. And sometimes we gotta let them go through emotions too. Like,
yeah.
See, I know that's like fucked up to say, but it's like,
no, but it's true.
You know, you gonna see. Like, I'm always here for you. I'm always, you know, that constant reassurance of, even if he's not here at this time, I'm always here. You got me.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be, because then they're able to see on their own, like, all right, you have plenty of access to me, and you're choosing not to be here. So, but then it's also scary, because that could help, like, diminish your child's self-esteem, because it's like, oh, what's wrong with me that you don't want to be here?
And that's what I didn't want.
There's just so many aspects to that, like, what's wrong with me that you don't want to be here?
I'm not gonna lie, it was so much easier when his father really didn't live here.
Right.
His father had moved down south for I think about 2 years. It was easier because I wasn't lying to him.
Right.
I let them talk every chance that they got.
Right.
We even went down there to visit.
Right.
So it was so much easier because, hey, I'm telling you the truth.
Right. I'm technically not lying.
Even before that, he technically wasn't around. But
right.
I'm not lying to you.
Right.
And it felt good that I didn't have to lie.
Right.
Like I said, I wouldn't have wanted to lie because I wanted, when he got older, I wanted him to understand. My mom did this because she wanted to protect me. Because I have so many people around me who dealt with an inconsistent parent who is honestly mentally fucked up.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
they are. But it's so also weird to me that I've seen that with parents that are inconsistent, a lot of the children will then always gear towards that parent over the parent who was consistent.
And I feel like that's with Amir. When it comes to me and he defends him before he defends me, and I'm like,
yo, I be here through the trenches.
I'm the one who pushed you out, and I've been here.
Defend their whatever mistakes, you know, you see it. And then it's kind of hurtful to the parent that has been there, because it's like,
yeah,
dang, You know, they come around once every 3 months, and you know, you give them all the love and affection, and you let them in and tell them things that you may not tell me or disclose.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, all they have to do is give you the slightest bit of affection.
Mm-hmm.
But then you gotta understand it from their point of view, because you know they want
They're,
the attention
yeah,
of
they're
that
yearning for,
parent so bad that they're like, I'll do whatever for you to love me. Like,
Yeah.
please just love me. And then some kids just turn cold-hearted, like, I.
You know, and honestly, it never really bothered me that I be playing, like, really, but no, I actually love the fact that he still had that.
Right.
And it's not even like my child haven't noticed, because when his father first started coming around consistently, he would make little comments and be like, you know, you wasn't always here, but I'm happy you are now.
Oh, okay.
And so while we was thinking he wasn't fully noticing, like, hey, his dad isn't here all the time, his
Right.
dad, like, hey, that's just your dad.
Right.
He noticed it. He realized that it wasn't normal. That's how I felt when he would make certain comments. It's like, okay, he knows he's supposed to be here
Okay.
all the time, but he never really held it against him. Like, literally,
That's the beauty of some most
yes,
children.
as like how easily I said it just now to y'all is how he was
How
saying it.
free loving, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't care. So I'm happy he didn't grow to sort of kind of
Resentment.
yeah, because he is at the age. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He's at the age where he can start resenting him, and that's what I didn't want.
Right.
But it's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. The relationship they have is wonderful.
That's amazing.
Even though he like everything we've been through.
Right.
You know, I have a cousin who had an inconsistent father, and when I say inconsistent, it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
In and out for years at a time, come back, stay for a little while, go away for another few
Right.
years. And she grew up really not liking him.
Mm-hmm.
It was on some, I don't want you around. Why is he here?
No, don't even talk to me.
Yeah.
You think because you my father, you my father?
No, and that's exactly. He comes to the doorway of her room. If her door is open, she'd be like, close the door.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't even say a word to her. Just close my door. And it's like, can you really? And I think that's why I made the decision to keep him away. I felt like it was
Because you can't really blame her for feeling like that.
not at all.
Even in the aspect, because some of y'all will debate, well, you know, adult is an adult and that's still her father. Let me tell you something. Anybody that caused me any trauma, you are another person. You are just another human being. And if that means I got to do whatever to protect myself from you, because when I look at you, all I see is hurt, consistent hurt, then I'm going to do that. I am going to do that. You cannot tell nobody not to feel no type of way with their trauma. And it's not like it's like a major like sit down thing, like to really get into the nitty gritty of what I did to you.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, a brief talk about it and get over it.
Yep.
No, fuck you.
And a lot of people like to use, well, that's still their parents.
So no, what you did was either provide the sperm or you gave birth to me. You did one of those things. You are not a parent. You are a surrogate. Okay? Takes a lot more to be a mother or father or a surrogate. A lot of y'all do not get to celebrate Mother's Day or Father's Day because you guys are not parents.
At all.
You can't tell nobody how to address their drama. Who are y'all?
And a lot of people like to, though.
Yeah,
A lot of-
that's weird.
That's your father. And I don't care.
Yeah.
I think we all dealt with that. Like, that's your mom, that's your dad, and because I know
I have.
And I don't care.
I don't.
If you hurt my feelings for basically all my life,
Yeah.
then you are just there.
And I'm not gonna lie, I do have a bias with my parents. Like my mom and my dad, I am way easier on my mom than I am my dad when it comes to them messing up.
Okay.
It's a big bias. I will not lie. My
you don't
mother's
mind.
not Ace Boom Boom.
Yeah, if you don't mind, why? Why?
Because I felt like even though my mother wasn't consistent because of her own traumas, I knew where she was. She wrote me, called me, whatever the case may be. When I moved back to New York, I knew where she was. And I never felt like I wasn't loved. My father just wasn't there. I had to reach out to you to reconnect.
Okay.
So I felt
So
like...
it's a difference.
Yeah, like...
She still made it her business to sort of kind of be there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a very big bias. So now as we create our relationship, a lot of people is like, well, you know, you gotta be easy on him, or they'll be like, you know, but that's still your father and he's trying. And that's great and dandy, because some people don't have fathers who come back and try.
Mm-hmm.
But if I would have never reached out to you, we would have never been here. So when I'm ready to heal is when I will be ready to heal. You cannot rush anyone's healing process.
Yeah, no. That I do agree with. You can't rush somebody's healing time. But do you think that being that you did reach out to have that relationship, maybe this is just my own opinion, maybe they're kind of right with, like, maybe you should be a little easier, because you do want to build that.
But I didn't reach out to have that relationship. I reached out for my mother.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't for me. I just felt like this is what she needed. I also reached out to her father, who we ended up finding out passed away. That was her favorite parent.
Okay.
So I wanted to see if I could reconnect them together, because the last time she saw him was when she was in the army.
Okay.
So I just say you might as well kill two birds, one stone, right?
Okay.
And that also helped them recreate their love. But I still felt some type of way, because I'm like, none of this would have been happening if it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
You put no effort out there, even knowing where my mother was located. You didn't know that I was living in South Carolina, but you knew where my mother was located, and you didn't reach out.
Okay.
So that was your issue.
Yeah. No, okay, I can understand that then. Because if you would have reached out for the relationship, then that would be like, hey, you know, yeah, try, you know. Like,
Yeah.
But that wasn't even your intent, so, hey, then it is what it is. Take your time to heal. Because, you know, from what I see, you're doing great.
No, I'm mad mean to him. I know that I'm mad mean to him. I have I have no patience with people in general. But with him, boy.
But you do try.
I do try, but I shut down real quick with him. I'd be like, all right, I don't talk to you no more. Because he's also very talkative. I'm an introvert, he's an extrovert. He just is. And I get that he wants to get to know me, but I'm like, it's a barrier there. And I don't want to break it down yet, because I'm like, I really don't trust you still, so. It's really weird. It's weird because I know that he's trying very hard, constantly. I know that, but I'm still like,
No, I could understand that, because I say it all the time. Even with me, there's certain things that I just find out about you while doing this show.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been friends for 14 years, so I can only imagine. I don't know exactly when you and your father reconnected, but I can only imagine. I've been here consistently 14 years, and then
right.
So if I could get it. Because technically you're learning him too.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting to know him too, so I absolutely understand that. Was it hard, like at the very beginning? Did you push away?
Nah, not really. At first I was like, okay, we can work this out. I was cool with it until my mother died, and I was like, nope.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to laugh. Why?
I don't know, because the crazy thing about it is, like, they were in like a good space or whatever, and he felt like, oh, this is my chance to get the love of my life back. So even though I felt like I should have been a little more sympathetic, because it's like they literally just started getting back to being good again, seeing each other, talking on the phone, rekindling their long lost love or whatever. She died.
Wow.
So it was like, holy shit, the love of my life just died.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter don't really want nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, somewhere in my brain, I don't know, it rewired like it's his fault. I don't know how.
What was his fault?
Everything was his fault, and I don't know how my brain computed that. That's just my brain. It was just like, it's his fault. It's his fault because she would have never had to struggle if he was there. So that's how my brain computed it. I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. Like,
do you know why he wasn't?
So they got into an argument. And she said something to him. And he said, oh, that baby might not even be mine. So she took me and moved back to New York.
Okay.
And she told him like, you're never gonna see her again. And they kind of like, I guess they rekindled, they made up. She would send him pictures of me. I still got like earrings from him from like 1994. He would send me gifts and stuff like that. According to him, my mother went missing with me. I don't know how true it is because unfortunately she died before I can get any answers. His side is that he could not find me. But he also didn't try that hard. Because my aunt, who my mother was living with at that time, is at the same address. So I felt like, you ain't try that hard. Patricia ain't moved from 129th Street in years. So you and I felt like, if someone takes your child, right? Someone takes your child.
Mm-hmm.
You don't call no one. My child's missing. Like, you don't think to do something about that? Like,
I noticed with dads, they're not as quick to do things.
My mother, like, I could get one scratch, and my mother she wanted to shoot people. Like, I remember one time my mother popped me in the mouth, and she literally shut her whole self down because she couldn't believe she hit me. And that was the one and only time she hit me. She cried with me. Yes, the lady cried with me.
Okay.
My mother did not believe in like physical discipline, so
dads aren't as quick to do things.
I was just like, I mean, you say my mother took me like she kidnapped me. You say it like that, but you did nothing to ensure my safety. I don't know.
A lot of fathers don't. There's a lot of fathers who will actually prefer not to go to court,
right?
And let their child believe whatever they want instead of going to court and
fighting for your kid.
I know a lot of guys like that.
If you really cared about, first of all, I'm gonna fight for my kid to the death of me, and I'm not gonna hold you. I don't even have a child yet, and I really strongly mean that. If a parent, the father of my kid takes my fucking kid, I am going to fight for my children. I don't give a fuck if they go to another country. You hear me? I will burn down an embassy for my fucking child. And I really, truly mean that. Mm-hmm. I don't care about no rules. I will go to another country and smuggle my kid back to the United States of America if I have to. Like, you're not telling me like someone took your kid and you didn't do nothing.
Not at all.
You didn't try to reach out. You didn't try to even come up here and go to the OAD. You didn't try to do nothing. Bro, so if I would have never reached out to you, this would have never been rekindled. No.
Yeah. I understand.
You miss like life milestones. So for me, it's just like you want to be happy, but you don't have no say in nothing that I do.
So basically, you try as hard as you can.
Yeah.
In this moment, and I could absolutely understand that because there was no reason. That's how you feel. You just feel like there was no.
Yeah,
reason.
I feel like there's no justifying it. Even if you had your own struggles, it's no justifying it. And I mean that goes for his whole family. I'm not even gonna hold you. Grandmothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, all y'all. That go for the whole family. It's no way. I got a kid, and my kid got a kid, and I love this kid so much. You tell me story time at your house, and I play with the grass, and I do this, and I do that, and I go missing for years. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where I'm located. And you as a grandparent, as an aunt, or nothing, don't think to say, hey, Dog, where's your kid?
No. Well, they probably did ask about you. But they didn't do nothing.
But y'all ain't do nothing.
I hate to say it, but daddy's side don't be doing nothing.
Y'all don't do nothing. My mother's side checked for me all the time. All the time. I just don't.
And you know that there be like posts that be like, oh, I can't believe I'm gonna eventually be the daddy side of the family, like for mothers who have sons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but y'all choose to have that relationship with that child,
right? Because
you have some grandmothers, like my mom's best friend, her son had a baby. That little boy is with her all the time.
Like, exactly.
When I say all the time, it won't be a difference basically between daddy's side, mommy's side. He gonna love both those grandparents the same.
Right.
She's with him even without her son. They drop the baby off to her house, and because she be like, "This is my day, bye y'all."
Right.
Like that little boy isn't gonna know the difference as to where like us growing up, we can literally say, hey, I don't really talk to my daddy's side.
Yeah, like I mean, now me and my grandparents on my father's side, we have a great relationship. For me, I feel like it was easier to, I guess, forgive because they're grandparents, even though I still slightly feel the same way I feel.
Yeah.
Just because you grandparents don't make you less responsible. That's how I feel. I'm not saying that it's right or
whether he
wrong.
was in her life or not,
Y'all could have still took whatever steps to ensure that I was okay, because y'all don't know if I was dead or alive. For all y'all know, my fucking mother could have went on a mental binge and took me and her out. Y'all don't know. And nobody checked. So I have to hold you as responsible, because you can't tell me stories about how much you love me and how I used to come to your house and play and I was afraid of the stuff in the grass, and never tell me, oh my God, yeah, you went missing and we didn't know what happened to you. Y'all keep trying to blame my mother, but y'all not telling me no steps that y'all took.
Yeah,
to
because
ensure
there was things that could have been done.
Like,
okay, she left and
she left.
Y'all knew where she was.
Yeah, literally. And even if we wasn't still living there, the lady, my aunt, was still living there. She's still living there to this day.
So it would have been.
Y'all still had an active address. My thing is, it's so many resources. Y'all don't think to be like, this baby is gone. She used to come be here all the time. My mother had a best friend that also lived down south that they still talk to. My dad's best friend, that's his wife. So my thing is, like, it's so many resources. It's so many resources. I just don't understand. So nobody can tell me like, oh, you gotta be however with your opinion. No,
you're not going to, because there's still things that are unanswered.
Exactly.
And honestly, there probably will always be. Sadly, being that you are here, because it's even like, okay, Ma, why did you leave and stay away for so long?
Right.
And why didn't you try to contact him? It's so many questions.
Right.
So I can understand.
I mean, from her side, I'm not gonna lie, I can understand her side more because I was with her.
Yeah.
So she had her own traumas. She was fucking with her own traumas.
Yeah.
So that I can understand why she didn't reach out.
Because you said she was dealing with her own.
Yeah. So that I definitely can understand, but I feel like certain traumas would have been avoided if
he was around.
If her partner, was a partner, but you chose to not be a partner or a parent. And unfortunately, the responsibility was left on her, and she was not able to handle it. So
it's hard.
Being a single parent and dealing with a lot of mental whatever.
It's hard.
Is a lot. Is a lot.
Y'all really don't
being
know.
A black woman, you're not even allowed to be like depressed or have like anxiety.
You still gotta get up and do what you gotta do.
So everything is like a failure. So you're thinking something is a failure when it's just like, you're anxious about something and it's really not a failure. But constantly feeling like you're a failure is like...
Yeah. Yeah. I know that feeling.
Exactly.
I know that feeling. Being a single parent is not easy, especially when you're literally begging for the other parent to just be a parent.
And that's why many single parents just give up on the other parent. Fuck it, I'll do it by myself.
I'm happy I didn't give up.
Right.
But it was hard. There was nights like I just cried.
Right.
Just because.
You'd be like, what the fuck did I do to deserve this?
And y'all could, I hate seeing posts that be like, y'all didn't choose y'all baby daddies correctly and all this bullshit.
People change, bro.
And when that baby comes, you're not telling me no different.
People change.
Like we have mentioned before, my baby was technically planned, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
He wasn't a mistake.
Right.
And I was with his father for 4 years. So for us to go from being together and wanting the kid to him just not really being around, it was like,
right.
What do you mean you're not around? Like this, we talked about this. We had countless amount of conversations about being a family.
Right.
For him not to be there. So it was hard. So y'all could cut that out. Not all of us just have a baby with some random guy.
People change, bro. People do change, whether y'all want to admit it or not. Some of y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I blame y'all for it because some of y'all had red flags from the beginning,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh, you laid down willingly." But a lot of people, I've seen people switch throughout the woman's pregnancy, or I've seen a woman switch throughout her own pregnancy. I mean, I've had friends who they baby moms was like, "Yo, I'm about to abort this baby at 7 months," and you like, "You cannot abort my baby." And as soon as she drop it, she like, "Fuck this, I'm not being no mother." You feel me? Like, people switch, people change their minds, and that's the scary thing about humans, because you change your mind every day. A lot of people do. Oh, I don't want this level of commitment. And that's why I still don't understand how y'all feel like marriage is bigger than a baby. Like, but that was a different topic we already discussed.
Yeah.
Like, a baby is a big commitment. It's emotional, it's financial, it's mental. Like, you really do need somebody, a support system.
I don't think there's any bigger of a commitment.
Yeah, like if you don't have a family of support, like grandparents, aunts, godmother, whatever, to help, like, especially in the early stages, bro, y'all like to talk, y'all they cute in them stages. But if you got a cry baby, that shit is not cute. And I say this from raising them. That shit is not cute, bro. I'm sitting here crying with
There's
you.
nothing cute about no stage of a baby. I hate
Nah, they cute in the face.
Oh,
They
yeah,
cute.
physically.
Like, oh my god, you're so small. Look at me holding my finger.
I hate the
Bro.
whole, I get baby fever from looking at a cute baby. How? What about everything else that comes
Come
with
with a
that?
baby. What if you cannot afford diapers and you have an inconsistent parent and you're like, bro, it's between me buying something for the baby or me eating. Can you say that's cute? That's not cute, bro. When you sitting there and you rocking your baby and your baby is crying nonstop and you crying with the baby, you have nobody else to even help you to tap in. So take the baby. You gotta sit there and figure it out. And y'all wonder why people be going off the deep end? Imagine a screaming, wailing baby all constantly all night, and then you still gotta get up and go to work, and your baby is crying and screaming and screaming. You don't know what they want, what's wrong, and you cannot always tell by the cries. I'll tell you that. You cannot.
No.
You cannot. They could be having an ear infection and hungry at the same damn time. Like, you don't know. You don't know. Like, bruh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
I feel like I ain't gonna hold you. I get pregnant, we gonna sign a contract. I'm not even gonna hold you. And I mean the earliest stages.
What's it gonna say?
And if the contract is not gonna get signed, I'm aborting it. Because I'm not gonna be a single mother. I'm not gonna be a single mother. I'm not.
No, and I don't blame you.
I
It's
refuse.
not fun.
That shit is not, that's not mentally healthy, bro. I don't feel like I would be the best mother I could be being single. No, the shit, I raised 5 of them. No, I'm not. Especially this one is gonna be mine. I can't really give it back to nobody.
Well, I wouldn't say you won't be the best mother, because even though it's hard.
No, I think for me personally,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I will be the best mother I can be. No, I need sleep. I am gonna be past 30 when I have a kid. I need sleep. I'm not youthful. I'll be to bed by 8 o'clock sometimes. No. No. Somebody gotta take the night shift.
Somebody got to do something.
I'm
It
just
can't be
saying.
me.
I'm not gonna be doing it. I'm not.
And when she say, like, of course we know that, like, single mothers, they be having their friends and stuff, but it's still not that easy.
And not everybody have all they like. You can have friends that you know will help you, but you still don't want to ask them because everyone has their own life.
That was me.
Like, and it's like, damn, am I being inconsiderate of them? Even if you know they gonna help you, it's still like, damn, yo.
It's like, it's not their responsibility.
Right.
Because that's how I felt. I didn't really ask too much for help when it came to my friends. But because I felt like, it's not them, he's mine. So I went through all the hard sleepless nights and all the crying and breaking down by myself sometimes. Because I was like, I decided to do this. I decided to have a baby. He's my responsibility. Which I think a lot of mothers feel that way. Because you can have an inconsistent parent that's still with your parent, like with your mother or father. Because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's what the situation was with my parents at one point.
Right.
He was inconsistent, but he was in the household.
Right.
I don't think
that happens a lot more.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think people talk about that. A parent can be physically there, but still be inconsistent.
Or inconsistent to one out of like the 3 kids. And I don't like this one kid.
Yeah. Because there was times where, like, I don't know how she's going to feel about me telling this story, but it's not a bad story. It's bad. It's bad. I believe it was me. I was a baby. I needed milk. She told my dad. He never came home. So real late at night, she had to get me and my sister ready, and she went to the store with us to get me milk. Those are things that can traumatize somebody.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But
what are you doing so important that you couldn't come home with the milk?
Exactly. I'm telling you that our baby needs milk. Mind you, they lived together.
Right.
We don't talk about inconsistent parents that live in the household, and it needs to be, because that can traumatize a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. It's like you was here,
but you wasn't here.
Like, how did it work? I think I told my sister that, my older sister. I have a half sister. Mm-hmm. And we had a discussion about my father maybe like 2 years ago, and it was like, girl,
you ain't missing much.
you ain't really missed much. Mm-hmm. I understand her yearning for him to be there, because it's not like she didn't know who he was. Mm-hmm. It's not like she didn't know she had siblings. Like, I knew my sister growing up. Mm-hmm. But it was like, girl, you don't want this.
Right. Like, I hope this helps you with your own trauma and your healing. That, girl, you ain't miss out on a damn thing. Not a fact, I'm willing to wrap him up.
Yo, what up? Because one of the things she mentioned, it was like, what was so wrong with me? Why he stayed for y'all?
He didn't stay for us, though. He was here living. You're right. But I mean, you know, it wasn't like, you know, the movies. You feel me?
Sometimes me and my dad, we're growing our relationship, but sometimes when I was younger, I did feel like, why are you here? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I would have been better off with him not. Because when I was younger, I already felt like he wasn't there. It was like I went to my mother for everything. Because I felt like if I asked him, he wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So it was like, why are you here?
My mama is a consistent parent. That's my ace boom.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, that's just what it is. Like, mama's ace boom. She gonna hold it down always. And I'm not saying, you know, in everybody's situation. That's just in our situation.
Yeah.
You know?
In our situation, it's our mother.
That's our mother. Like, she gonna hold it down. I mean, now I can say I know my father got me if I need. Mm-hmm. But it's more financial. It's not like.
And it's harder to go to the parent that you feel like weren't consistent.
Yeah.
It's hard to even want to ask them for things, because it's like. Mm-hmm. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Like, I know you're my dad.
That's okay, right?
Like, I know by blood, we here.
Right.
But are we really here?
Right. Because I damn sure want to open up to you emotionally. Mm-mm. Like, it would have to be something more of financial. And it can't be like, I need it financial. It's more of, I want a pair of boots. I don't really need it, but I want the boots. So can you buy the boots? But if I was like, oh my God, I need to pay rent, I definitely would not go to you. Which is stupid, I know, but it's just like, I don't want you to know I'm struggling. I'm doing this without you. Like, I don't need the boots.
It's like what I'm supposed to do with you.
Yeah,
like specifically.
Can I use you as that safety net? Am I sure that I can use you as that safety net? I'm not even sure.
Because
I'm going back out.
Till this day, I still don't have certain conversations with my dad.
Right.
When I got pregnant, I think the only reason he found out was because my mom told.
Yeah.
When something else happened, I think the only reason he found out was because my mom told.
Right.
I don't go to my father and be like, hey, this is what's happening.
Right.
He might overhear me talking about things, but I don't really share good news with him.
That conversation.
None of it. Like, if, hey, I got a new job, I don't be like, hey, daddy, you know.
Right. I'm moving on up.
But my mama, she first called. Mommy.
For real. As soon as I get out the fucking interview. I got the job. No, I didn't. I just did the interview, but I got it. Like,
so this was just basically, I want everybody to comment and just tell their stories, because I know there's a lot. Like we said, even the inconsistent parents in the household, I'm pretty sure a lot of people dealt with that and don't even realize that it's still being inconsistent.
That's a fact.
Just because your parent was there don't mean shit.
Like, how many people said they grew up in households and maybe their mother was cold to them. Mm-hmm. Like, she was there, but she wasn't there. Mm-hmm. That's an inconsistent parent, bro.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But that's our time for today.
Mm-hmm.
As y'all know, we here every Thursday. You need to say your line, girl.
Feel like a scar line to the channel.